Hey, what's up, man? So today I got something super special for y'all, man. One of my very first interviews ever. We got Milk 74 in the house and the place to be, man. What's up, bro?
What's the deal, bro? What's the deal?
Not much, man. Yo, this is a interesting spot, man. Look like you got us in the trenches. I like this atmosphere for the interview, man. So what's been new with you?
Nothing much, bro. Just trying to stay afloat. You know, that's all it really is, Lo. Just stay afloat. I'm still breathing, so that's really what it really is, to be honest.
Okay, man. Now, what's cool about this is you've been on social media for a very long time. You've covered a lot of the hot topics that we're going to get into today. But specifically, I wanted to kick it off with asking you about your past situation with No Jumper. Like, where is that at now today?
It's the same thing. There's no relationship with No Jumper. There's no ties, there's no connection, there's nothing. I went up there. I had plans. The plans didn't go through. So, you know, I aborted the mission, but that's pretty much it, bro. I don't f them or him. Well, I'm cool with Flacco, but it's pretty much it.
Okay, so you say you're cool with Poetic Flocka, right? Now, what about like your situation with Adam22? I thought y'all did an interview not too long ago, right?
Yeah, I went up there. I went up there. I had a plan, you know, I had an ulterior motive for why I was gonna go up there, but it just didn't happen. I aborted the mission, bro. That's all I could really say. I wasn't going up there to be kumbaya, really. I just was going up there.
Okay, so you guys were supposed to be meeting, and you had some other plans. Is all you're saying? Is what you're saying, right?
I mean, it was gonna go down. It was gonna get down to like that, yeah. But I aborted it, bro. I didn't want to have federal nightmares like Lil Durk or Yellow Beezy. So,
nah, I get it. But man, let's go there. Since you opened up that door, we gonna go there, man. So recently, a lot has been going on in the social media space, or shoot, in hip hop on the West Coast. You definitely had some positives with your whole Kendrick Lamar and things like that. But then we have a situation that took place this week involving Big U, Luce Cannon, and Bricc Baby. Now, Luce Cannon and Bricc Baby, they're guys who usually go on the No Jumper platform, talk all the time, do interviews, similar to yourself. But Bricc Baby specifically was an employee. When you saw this whole Rolling 60 Operation Drawdown indictment, what did you think?
it was crazy to say the least. Okay, so that was crazy. I ain't gonna say that I was surprised. You feel me? Me seeing Big U, Bricc Baby, and Luce Cannon get hit with that RICO, I wasn't surprised like that, bro. I've been had my suspicions of Big U, you feel me? I kind of been felt he wasn't really this community activist, youth mentor, you know, like football coach. I already knew he had an ulterior motive, but, you know, I do YouTube and do content, but my job still is not to help the FBI. So, I mean, I didn't speak on a lot of, but it is what it is, bro. But you know what's crazy? What's shocking to me, though? That if you know that they're really doing it, you feel me? They're really doing stuff on the streets, right? So why would you even want to be on the internet? That's what I don't get, bro. Big U got a podcast called Checking In. If you really got people on the streets checking in, why would you have a podcast called Checking In? That don't make no sense to me.
And what's crazy is they played it up on No Jumper and on a lot of the platforms to the point where I thought Luce Cannon, Bricc Baby, and Big U, I thought they didn't all like each other, but they sure enough got wrapped up together. So maybe they were just playing that up for the camera. Do you think?
I'm for sure that all of them was close at one point in time, but I think Luce Cannon started getting used by Big U low key. Like Luce Cannon doing, you know, making moves and making plays, but he wasn't getting paid. So I think that's what really made him start having like this aggression and this disdain and hate for Big U. Now, Bricc Baby, from what I heard, Bricc Baby already didn't have I mean, been having like interactions with that dude for the longest. You feel me? It might not be all on the internet, but you know, they intertwined and
it's crazy to think about that, bro, because, you know, Bricc Baby is on, you know, Jumper almost every day. You know what I mean? It's like every day, but, you know, the weekends and whatnot, you'll see Bricc Baby up there on the news. You'll see him on the weekly show. And now he's wrapped up in this investigation. We come to find out a lot more about his other cases that he had. What did you think about that?
like I said, I don't get it, bro. If I know that I'm really outside and I'm extorting rappers, NFL players, entertainers, whoever I can extort, whoever I can get money off of, if I'm robbing people, if I'm setting people up, getting a jury, I'm not going to be working for no podcast company on the camera. It just don't make sense, bro. But then it goes back to people using narcotics. You feel me? It's the narcotics that got them comfortable moving any kind of way. And he just all over the place, bro. He all over the place.
That's wild, man. So I've seen a lot of the comments and people in the comment section a lot talk about the fact that Bricc Baby, man, he seemed like he's under the influence. He's getting off topic. He's doing stuff that's just wild. But to the point where you're putting your face out there on a podcast every week and you got all these cases hanging over your head, it just doesn't seem like a smart move.
It's not a smart move for a gangbanger, active street member, a criminal, or anything like that to get on the camera, bro. It's not a good idea. And you know, I seen the clip where Luce Cannon was on No Jumper speaking about Big U having him run up and rob a weed dispensary, right? I have been seeing this clip, but it's just certain I don't really want to post or I don't want to cover like that, like 600 real quick. You know, he was going off on Big U like before Big U even got arrested by the feds, saying, yeah, Big U is guilty of a murder of a football player, a rapper that was signed to his label, like the DNA matches. And he's saying on the internet, I'm not gonna get on the internet and discuss no open murder with the information having been given to the public. Like if it's the PMD Rock or something like that and the news is already talking about it, maybe that's different. But for me to just be like getting some information from Lord knows who, I don't know if it's the Boys in Blue, I don't know if it's the People family, but he getting this information that ain't public and he's talking about it. And you can't do that when you're a gangster, bro. But what's real shocking, and I'm thinking, it's like how he didn't get hit with no type of indictment. Either he wasn't really kicking up no dust doing or he a part of this. You feel me? Because how you ain't get hit with no indictment?
When it comes to 600, he's done a lot of trolling, bruh. And he definitely has put it out there that, you know, he's been on Big U's heels. And for a lot of people, and I've talked to people on and off camera about this, like Big U, like no matter what, his name held a lot of weight where they're from. Like I'm talking about like to the point where some people are even, you know, they were apprehensive about talking about him on camera. So for 600 to be trolling him so hard, do you think it's a possibility he knew the indictment might have been coming?
No, I mean, I low key, like, I don't know. I had posted a video on my Instagram of him like claiming the police called him and he talked to the police and he went to the station and they gave him like this little badge chain. Like when he do stuff like that, bro, like no real street individual, no gangster, no Crib Blood, Hoover, GD, BD, gangster disciple, whoever, bro, they're not gonna troll and play like they the police, bro. He could have, but it's just he's not scared of him because he's not going over there. That's all it is, bro. Like if he was still actively hanging outside on Slauson and Crenshaw, he would not be on the internet doing this because, you know, from what the FBI calling him gang leader, youth activist, youth mentor, Big U wouldn't have been going for that. He would have been getting people to apply pressure like he applied pressure on Nipsey when Khaled went over there, which is crazy to me. But, you know, these old heads be hating, bro, when they can't control you. But see, I know 600 been going at Big Useless for a while, and it's only because he said that Big U called him a rat. He said he was a rat because he was able to get a legal gun, and he just couldn't understand how 600 could get a legal gun. But if you have never been convicted of any crimes, or if you don't even have misdemeanor convictions and you would have got them expunged, and it ain't no crazy. Like if I got caught with some weed 6 years ago, there was a misdemeanor and I've been got it expunged, I probably can get a legal firearm if I go through the right steps and I'm a security guard like 600 is. But it just be the old heads.
Yeah, that's correct. Because getting a legal gun is just basically putting your name attached to that gun. You know what I mean? And showing you're a law-abiding citizen.
But you can't get no carried and concealed. How 600 be you know, how he be trying to carry it and flashing it and showing it. But he's a fake security guard, bodyguard like that. So when he got the gun, I didn't say, oh, he the feds, but I don't know. A lot of it just seemed like, you know what I believe in my head. I'm like, the feds was already getting on Big U, right? And maybe they knew Lovejoy was from over there. Like maybe he lived over there. And I just feel like some way they put Lovejoy and Big U together, and because they knew that Big U would want to have like a person like 600 on his team, this big old professional boxer. You know, that's another extorter allegedly for him. You feel me? So I don't know, bro. That happened before.
Yeah, there's a lot of different plays, man. And I've been blogging and watching and reading paperwork for a long time, just trying to understand the method that the feds and all these people use. And it's been so many different things that they do, man. And that's not above something that they would do. So it's like,
I seen them do this. I know. I had a homegirl that I lived 2 houses from when I was growing up. Her brother got took down like that. Like they knew that he'd sit on his porch and he'd try to holler at every girl that passed by. So they got a bomb-looking good girl to walk by. He hollered. It just went from there, and she was the FBI. He got 15 years over that.
Yep. No, I've seen that several times. Yep. That's scam, they call it, right? Or something like that. But, man, with this situation, and I want to get into a couple of these situations one by one, but before I do, I want to talk about something with one of the people who was listed in this indictment. So you got Luce Cannon, right? Now, Luce Cannon was random, man. And go with me on this one. I don't know if you saw it, but Luce Cannon was in Barstow for some reason. And while he was in Barstow, he ran into none other than Cowboy. And once Cowboy saw him, Cowboy stole on Luce Cannon, man. Did you see that situation?
Yeah. I posted on my social media. That's crazy, but people sound like, how did this happen? Like, bro, like a lot of people coming from LA and back and forth to Vegas on the daily, bro. They might have stopped at the same gas station that they was at. But that is like crazy, like damn. So they just in like Barstow and they run into each other. But it's probably only one gas station that everybody go to right there. So yeah, but
it is. You've been from LA to Vegas before, right? There's only a couple of gas stations. There's that one there in Barstow. Then there's one in Baker that you have to stop at. So those two you got to stop at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Luce Cannon is a real sweetie pie from what I seen. You feel me? Because when I first seen it, I seen the clip of him saying, yeah, Cowboy just ran from the fade when I was putting my shoes on. But then after I seen that, I seen another video where Cowboy is like, you could see him kind of not seeing, but you can hear him and it's him recording, and Cowboy is on Luce Cannon, like, yeah, cuz on hood. And it's like Luce Cannon is walking inside of a building kind of like fast. But I don't know. I seen his explanation. You know, they saying that the dude that was on camera with Luce Cannon was had a flat tire by Cowboy, and Cowboy driving tow trucks out there. So he was going to tow the car, and then the man started screaming, saying, my baby here, my baby here. And so that's why they didn't fight, or that's why Luce Cannon left. But I don't know, bro.
Yeah. Now, on the video that you're referencing, it did look bad because Luce Cannon ducked back in the store. He said something about some but I didn't hear him say that. It looked like he ducked back in the store. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm going to be honest, though, bro. You know, they say Cowboy could fight and all, but do you honestly think Cowboy is going to be able to whoop Luce Cannon? Like, just, I mean, like, I just don't see it happening low key. Like, and Cowboy is skinny, bro. So I just think, I don't know. I think Luce Cannon get him, but Luce Cannon be talking all this like high power and yeah, I just felt like he be talking, so he should have crashed out. Like he should have just went all the way there. But you know, it is what it is. I guess he didn't do it because the man baby was in the car and the car was on the flatbed. So I don't know.
Yeah, it seemed like he had a valid reason. And when it comes to, I think Cowboy's like 60 years old, bro. Like he's getting close to 60 or something like that. And I think Luce Cannon, like on a fair one up, you know, he probably could handle him. But the fact that he got stole, he got snuck, you know, that always shocks you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you've been snuck before, but you know, it ain't easy sometimes bouncing back from that and making the best decisions.
Well, he didn't put him down. I mean, he didn't look hurt to me. I don't think he dropped him with it, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like he should have like he should have crashed out, bro. The way he be talking, but he a real sweetie pie. He lucky that it's a federal case they caught and he ain't in the county jail right now. Cause I don't know how it is when you get locked up downtown federal if they running fades and all that, like the county. Cause I ain't never been there, but I don't really know too many people. I know people that have been to the feds, but I ain't really never I ain't never asked them about that. I don't think they really in there fighting.
I can tell you this much. I did an interview with Crip Mac while he was locked up in the feds holding after he had accepted his sentence. You know what I mean? It's on my page. And he was running fades in there. You know what I'm saying? He was still running fades in there, you know, because a lot of the cats who are in the LA, MDC or whatever they call it for federal holding, a lot of those guys are from LA gangs or whatever. So they still politic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But, well, you know, I hope he ain't running and saying he need his shoes in there, bro, because he probably gonna have a lot of fades. And what if him and Big U land in the same park? I don't think they gonna do that, though. They probably gonna like separate them, but because that'll be crazy.
Well, you know, with the feds, it's tricky because, you know, there's not as many federal facilities as there are county jails and things like that. You know what I mean? So it's usually only separated by a couple of blocks. You know what I mean? But yeah, they usually separate everybody. You know. And so I don't know. This will be a crazy situation because Big U is one of those cats who gets a lot of love, you know, in his section, a lot of respect, you know. And then Luce Cannon has been actively going at Big U. Like him and 600, they've been on Big U's heels. So we'll see. I mean, it looks like, according to what Adam22 has posted, it looks like Luce Cannon isn't worried. It looks like he's trying to wait on if he can get a bail or not.
I don't think he's getting a bail. I don't know, though. From what I seen, I don't think Bricc Baby or Big U getting a bail.
Yeah, I don't know. Not with federal. It's hard to guess because you never know with state level stuff. But federal, it usually never, right?
Well, I've been hearing, you know, I thought it was harder to get bail in the feds, but from what I've been hearing, they saying you could go to the feds at 8 o'clock at night and go to court at 8 in the morning. I don't know. I guess you could get bailed out the same day. I thought you have to have a court hearing for that. Like they'd be like, come back next week for bail hearing or like that. I don't know, to be honest with you.
That's true because with the Boosie situation, I think he was out fairly quick, right?
Who?
Boosie.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, but I don't think it was like within 24 hours or like 17, 18 hours, bro.
It was fast because I remember he was at the BET Awards like 2 days later or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're right. Right. Yeah.
But all right, man. So I wanted to leave that Luce Cannon topic there. I just wanted to get your opinion on that one. I seen you post that on your page because your page is active with a lot of the West Coast stuff that goes down. And a lot of people, you know, check in to see what you post to see some of the hot topics and things like that. And I got to ask you about this whole Bricc Baby situation, man. Now, have you had an opportunity to look at the paperwork?
Not really. I seen a little bit of it. I seen a few pages. It's 107 documents. I mean, it's 107 pages. I haven't looked at his, but I seen a little bit of that, bro. I seen where they charging him for like being a felon with 3 gun priors. Where he got called like June, July, and then March with 3 different guns, and they trying to tie him to like a gun trafficking ring or something like that. I seen a few documents. It ain't looking good for him either.
Now, when it comes to Bricc, baby, this is wild about the original indictment. So the original indictment comes out and the feds automatically do a press release. In the press release, they already have the summary of the entire indictment in the press release. And Bricc, baby, is listed there as being under heavy surveillance from his prior gun case. I'm talking about, they were looking at CCTV videos of Bricc, baby. They were looking at everything you could think of, all his phone calls, his text messages. But it seemed like he was allegedly still doing street stuff, man. Did you check that? And when you heard about that, what did you think?
It blows my mind. It's crazy, bro. Like, I don't get it. Like, look, when the first time, like, I had seen Bricc, baby, before, I think, because on a Say Cheese TV interview, but this was years ago. Like, I didn't even know who he was, low key. Like, it had said or something, and he had braids, whatever. But the first time I seen him, like, on the internet, really was no jumper. He had this pink jacket on. And, man, he was on there talking crazy, bro. He was saying, I don't care what Big U say or who Big U is, or, Quando, if Quando don't come check in with us, he ain't good. And I mean, he was like talking about all type of crazy. And I'm like, man, this dude is going to get a federal, indictment brought down, bro. And look what happened. That was the first time he got on no jumper. I said, this is crazy. This man on here talking reckless, like, especially like it's a difference between, like, if I get on the internet and I say, yeah, I was doing this certain criminal that ain't nothing crazy like years ago, than me actually doing it like right now and then talking about it on the internet. That's wild. That don't make no sense. So I just can't grasp why he did it or why he kept doing it, because if I would have found my way onto the internet, I would have stopped. I would have ceased everything criminal. Like, I wouldn't even did no more. You should have already been up, like all they claim that they was doing, bro. I don't know. When I was like really in the streets, I really didn't even want to be on Instagram. I think I had an Instagram, but I shouldn't have had that, but I wasn't on there. I didn't take it serious and like that. So, no, I definitely wouldn't have been doing no interviews.
Yeah, that blows everyone's mind, because everyone is on social media now. I'm talking about regular blog pages talking about this indictment, and they're going back and going through all the interviews and all the things that were talked about in the interviews that ended up in the indictment. Like that thing with Luce Cannon talking about extorting the guy at the dispensary. That actually ended up in the indictment. Did you see some of that stuff?
Yeah, I seen that in the indictment. And I seen where they mentioned a rapper by the name of RR. Luce Cannon approached and said, you got to pay $50,000 or we'll do something to the artist, MM. So RR and MM is Rick Ross and Meek Mill. It got to be. Who else is RR and MM? Who else is a rapper RR that got an artist by the name of MM signed to them? Rick Ross and Luce Cannon talked about it on No Jumper. He said that they pressed Rick Ross for $50,000, or they said they was gonna do something to Meek Mill, and they saying Rick Ross paid. Now this is an indictment as well.
And you know what's even crazier? He came back and said the real names, like their real names, on a live he did at his crib. He said that same exact story and then did it live at his crib and said their names. Said Rick Ross and Meek Mill. And it was like, you gave it up sweet. You gave it up easy. Talking about him giving up his jewels and stuff.
Now do you see why like the mafia people or like certain organizations used to or still do, like if somebody if they involved in a lifestyle and they start getting too flashy or reckless on camera, they gonna fix the issue. The issue will be handled, bro. That's crazy. Organizations letting their members get on the internet and just and it blows my mind with Bricc, baby, though. I knew this. I knew a indictment was gonna come. I didn't know it was gonna be headed by Big U. Operation Draw Down, and that's funny too. Operation Draw Down, because his other AKA is Draws. So they just saying like draw down, but they should have just said draws down or something. But yeah, that's funny.
They always do that. They always do that, man. They name the task force and the operations something creative. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny.
Now, when it comes to like Luce Cannon and Bricc Baby on the mic, on the podcast mic, is that something that like back in your day you'd have just stayed away from because of, you know, all the heat that it could possibly, you know, show? And you made a great example, like Mafia. Like if somebody was ever on camera, like doing interviews or something like that, it would be over. You know, it'd be a bad situation.
Yeah, they'll be somewhere swimming with fishes, weighing a lot. But hell no, I wouldn't. When I was outside, I didn't want to even be on no pictures. Or that's why I don't have a lot of pictures really like when I was like young, bro, because I wasn't taking pictures. I didn't want to do videos, because what if we doing all types in the street? So now, like, what if they seen my face but didn't know who I was? Now I'm doing interviews. Now they know who I am. Like, ain't just what you do, bro. And then you're giving the FBI basically like the case. You feel me? Like you just really giving them a case and saying, here it go. That's why you never caught me on no hood vlog or no weird like that, bro. That it's not gonna happen. So that's a scary thing when they come, bro. When them alphabet boys come with the blue and yellow jacket, that's scary. You feel me? Well, it ain't like, it just depends what they coming from. But Big U got it worse because Bricc Baby them is facing a few years. Well, not a few. They could possibly get like 20, but you know they got him for a murder on top of the other charges. So
yeah. Now let's get into that. So it's alleged in the summary of the case, or in the press release that was released by the feds, that Big U has something to do with the death of a young guy, a young rapper he was mentoring, who was also a football star, who was also a friend of his son. And he's alleged to have taken him out to the desert in Las Vegas, shot him, and left him there, and then went back to the studio to clean up and get rid of any kind of, you know, evidence that he was there, man. When you saw that, I was like, dang, that's cold-blooded, because essentially you're talking about a cat who's 19, 20 or something like that, getting taken out by some guys who are in their 50s, almost 60, allegedly, man. So what did you think about that whole part of the indictment?
Yeah, that was crazy. I just, I seen that paperwork, bro, where they saying that he allegedly did this over a diss song, right? But it could be, but I don't know, bro. I be having deeper thoughts. I'm like, okay, this happened low key like a while ago, like a few years ago, right? And I don't even think his son was in the league yet, was he?
No, I don't think so.
Was the other dude still playing football, or he had already stopped playing?
I think he had already given it up and focused on becoming a rapper.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if he really made, the feds is a legend that the dude, I think his name was Ray Sean, made a diss song about Big U. And we all know from what we done heard, Big U don't like that when you make diss songs about him. That's the reason why he said he got Nipsey DP'd, because I guess Nipsey made a song where he felt like he dissed him. He felt like Nipsey dissed himself, Big U, on a song. So he got Nipsey DP'd, and I guess that's when they say Black Sam like open fire in the air to like break the situation up or something like that. But
yeah, we heard that story.
It just make me think about like Sandman, Nipsey, like damn, like it just make me really think like damn, did he play a part in Nipsey Hussle? Like, you feel me? I know they convicted somebody for it, but I'd be thinking crazy, bro. I'd be thinking, I think like, damn, like he sent him to do it and told him like, you would be good. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. Like, what they gonna do if you killed somebody that called you a snitch? Cause you're supposed to do that. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, you're making a very good point there, Milt, because those interpersonal relationships, like the actual communications that end up being what the after actions are never what we see. We usually find out that those small talks that really paint the picture, we usually find that out years later after somebody has already been up the river or something has already happened. You know what I mean? So it could be deeper than what we're getting. This indictment is thrown together so that way they could just paint a picture of Big U being this big mafia-like boss they kept saying, right? and that way they could bring everybody down like a RICO, in a RICO case, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but RICO is the last of his worries because they said for the RICO, they facing like a maximum of 20 years. He's I mean, he's involved in the murder, bro. And they saying, I seen the court documents where they saying the security guard is a witness, the owner of the studio is a witness. I think the engineer is a witness. All of them is saying that they seen him coming there to do and left with the guy and came back by himself. The security guard said they seen him like he was like drenched in like sweat or something. He told the security guard that, oh, I just got back from the gym, bro. But they said he had his cell phone on him. He turned it off. Then like shortly later, he turned it back on. He's saying he didn't go to the studio, but they got camera footage of him pulling up at this studio again in his Lexus car. This is crazy. So a 56-year-old, right? A 56. Yeah, but he was probably 56 allegedly around the time that this took place, bro. And that paperwork say that it was over a diss song, and the boy made a song saying like, oh, I don't care if you think you the one that got all the money. I'll keep a 38, pull it out, and shoot you in your face with no trace. And they saying that this boy got found like in a little landfill, shot multiple times, including one in the face. And guess what caliber they think shot him, bro? A 38. But that's crazy. Like if he allegedly did this, like that's what I'm saying. You didn't even put no effort into this. Like, I mean, you just drugged the boy body. I mean, I'm not saying like I wanted him to like, cause it's cool that the parents got his body and I don't really know what happened, but I'm saying like, you didn't even put no effort into trying to get in the way. Like what was going on? Like 58 years old, bro. I don't know. I was thinking like, damn, did this have something to do with football? But I guess he was already done playing football because I thought it had probably had something to do with, him trying to get rid of him to make sure his son be the only one that make it or some shit. I don't know. I just be thinking crazy sometimes.
Nah, man, you trying to get the full picture and understand what really happened, man. And a lot of us do that, man. So like you said, it looks like Big U is facing a statutory maximum sentence of life in federal prison. Now at 58 years old, that's regardless, life is life, no matter what age you are. But that's a heavy toll, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, because I don't think I would never put myself in a situation like that. I've been clear of years, but if I'm 58 years old. And they claim I've been running this mafia-like organization. Well, I should have some money put up and I should have been able to, because I'm not turning myself in at 58 years old for no federal case. This ain't no state case that you could really pay your way up out of. Like you could buy your way up out of a state case. Like get a good lawyer. They'll get you up out of that. But the feds is different, bro. They don't want your money. They've been doing their investigation. So, bro, it's 58 years old. He turned himself in. I just couldn't have did it. If I would have been lucky enough not to have been in the house that they kicked in the door at, it would have been a search. But that he got that murder over his head. So they never gonna stop. They gonna send the U.S. Marshals every minute. They gonna send everybody they got always every day until they find him, bro. So I guess he had no choice. I don't know.
Yeah. And the crazier part about this is, not only did the murder play a huge part in the indictment, man, a lot of the bookkeeping at Unique Entertainment or Unique Enterprises or whatnot was a big part of the investigation as well, man. So it looks like he was running a charity, and the charity that he was running, they're alleging that the charity was all bad. Like he was actually allegedly taking the money from the charity and just basically paying himself and using that money for his own means. As opposed to
he just not, he don't seem like he's very smart. You feel me? Because they saying that, it wasn't like he was just transferring the whole like amount of the money to his personal bank account, but he was still transferring shit to his personal bank account. He wasn't smart enough to find another way, but it's really, look, bro, it's the karma at the end of the day that really came and bit him in his ass because like you could say a lot of people respect him, like probably most of that with a lot of these people just be fear. Like they probably just fear because they didn't heard or they know, or even like that. But man, this ain't the 90s, 80s, or the early 2000s, boy. He get put on his pocket, but
nah, that's true. It's a different time.
It's the you know, the last crime of that boy for no reason, bro. That's like some weird, that's some goofy shit to like shoot. I'm not saying if he did it or not, but for somebody to do that, like a 58-year-old, just to shoot a 19-year-old up 6-7 times and one in the face for like a few lines on a song, is crazy, bro. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand that either, man. Like at that age, you should be matured enough to laugh any rap lyrics off. Come on, man. You were alive.
You don't trust your sons ain't like that or whatever, because he got sons that I don't know what his sons do, but I thought he had a few that was up under him from up over there. I'm like, damn, I would just be thinking everything, but it's like he seemed like that type of person that he gotta carry out the vendetta to his self, bro. And I wonder, I'm like, damn, man, that boy probably felt something, like, because they said on the report that it's a camera of him pulling up to this Airbnb, and I guess the boy went in there and got his suitcase. But if I was that boy, I know he felt something. He should have acted on it and tried to leave, bro. But maybe he played it off to him. Maybe he acted like he didn't hear the song. I really don't know. But when I was up, and
I was thinking about that as well. I was like, well, what if you dropped the diss song? What would make you get in that car and leave with him? Like, I wouldn't trust nothing he had to say. But I'm thinking they probably, he used to live with Big U, so he probably thought, they'll talk about it. Maybe they might even fight or something like that. It won't really be nothing like that. But, obviously it was, according to the paperwork.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, bro. That's crazy. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. That's some crazy.
All right, Milk. So I wanted to ask you about this. Now, also in the paperwork, while we're still on this topic of this whole Rolling 60 RICO Operation Drawdown or whatnot, they made a point to talk about checking in and how checking in was basically a gateway for these gangs to extort people, man. Did you see that part? What did you think about that?
I mean, that part, I'm not really, that part is like, shit, get your money. Like, shit, I guess, you feel me? Like, get your money. I mean, if you figured out a way, if you figured out a way to get money, I guess get it, bro. But like you shouldn't be putting it on the internet. Like a video popped up of him like 12 years ago, like at a movie that was being filmed on Crenshaw somewhere, bro. And he went over there, saying that he got him checking in, or he gonna check the equipment of it. Can't say that camera, bro, and really be doing it.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. And he was bold enough to say that on camera.
Yeah, if they found a way to get the money, I guess, bro. But like given the ways he was getting it was crazy. I don't know, bro. It's just like, if you doing it, why are you broadcasting it on the internet? That don't make no sense.
Yeah, and you're referencing the video of Big U on the street. They were filming a movie, and he said, hey, y'all want to film here? Y'all got to check in with me, type of deal. And kind of said it with his chest out. Now, what I was referring to, though, is like the whole process of checking in, excuse me. Remember when 6ix9ine went on the whole tirade about I ain't checking in nowhere, and everybody just, kind of gasped? It just looks like, I hate to give it to him, he might have been right, because based on the paperwork, it looks like a lot of the gangs were using rappers from out of town or whatnot who checked in and basically were extorting them. Like if they did get robbed, it was the gang who was robbing them, and then they say, hey, we'll go get your stuff back. It was like checking in was basically like an extortion ring. All right, Milk. So I wanted to ask you about this whole checking in thing, right? Now, in the paperwork that came out in this whole Operation Draws Down in this Rolling 60 RICO indictment, they made it a point to talk about checking in. And they made it seem like checking in was a way that this gang was using to extort rappers and NBA players or NFL players or people coming from out of town, man. It seems like anytime you check in, you pretty much open yourself up to a whole bevy of things that could go wrong, and basically an extortion ring. When you saw that, what did you think about it?
It happens. I mean, it happen, bro. It's either you gonna come out here, especially if you gang banging. Like if you from a hood like if you from outside of California and you banging a California hood and you come to California, you gonna have to go with them people. And that's still extortion because it's still like, oh, like, you know, they trying to see what they can get. Like, is he gonna buy some, you know, whatever? And if they don't get that, some people are robbing, bro. And but you got some people that's that. I just never understood that, bro. I'm not about to pay nobody to be able to come to nobody's city or town or state. I'm just not doing that.
Yeah, it sounds like a bad idea from the gate, man. But a lot of people used to love doing that. And Schoolboy Q had a funny story about that, where he talked about the fact that he was like, yeah. So Schoolboy Q had a whole part in the interview where he talked about that, where he talked about the fact that people would come in town, check in, end up getting robbed by the people they checked in with. And then they call him to help try to rectify the situation. And he'd be like, man, y'all are being stupid. You know, I'm at my house chilling with my kids playing the video game. You know what I mean? I'm not going to come out there and help nobody. So stop checking in.
Yeah, because I mean, like, bro, because they come out here, bro, and you could check in with one person. But if that person really ain't, if there's other people that already like basically could punk him or whatever, bro, they going to do whatever they want to do, bro. Or if he feel like you ain't doing, even if like, what? I just don't understand like how this conversation go. Like, do they be like, hey, I want such amount of dollars every time you come out here? But I'm pretty sure some genuine people they could meet though, if they do find the right people that'll be like not trying to extort them for no money, but just I guess would want them as like a friend, you know, like that, like a relationship, business wise, or like content, just to know them. Shit like that. But yeah, bro, I'm not checking in with nobody. I wouldn't even trust that because if I'm like, bro, that's crazy. Check in, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it seems like a horrible idea, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah, it is horrible. Imagine going around a bunch of killers and robbers and whoever with a bunch of jewelry on, and what are you going over there for? Like, you going to give somebody some money, bro? It don't make no sense. They gonna book you for everything, bro. But it depends who over there, though. It depends who it is. They might not. They might see the bigger play, but then if things don't go their way, or they might not get you, but they might try to have you call people over and like maybe have a little party or like that, and the next thing you know, yo, people getting booked or something.
Yeah.
So, you know, the best thing to do is to stay away. You got to be really just paying attention to like that. You really don't have to come check in. See, people say checking in because they think, bro, but if you come out here like and you move right and it's like that, you'll be okay, bro. You'll be okay.
Yep. Yeah. They say, man, and that was one of Schoolboy Q's points. He said that, yo, when you come into LA, just go over there on the nice part of town with the, you know, folks. And I hate to put it around, but you know what I mean. Just go over there, have you some real fun where you don't have to worry about any type of hood gangster stuff, and you'll be just fine. You know what I mean?
Well, to a certain degree, because then you got, maybe they could find out that they over there. It depends. Like, you know, it really depends. But I'm telling you, for the most part, bro, you don't got it. It depends what you coming to LA to trying to do, to where that's just their way of getting some money. You feel me? That's their way. They even found a little low-key extort, like a little play to get money. So they saying, check in with us or you gonna get robbed, and they gonna be the ones coming to rob you. Probably not the people that told you that, but they're sending somebody to book your ass. So that's just crazy all the way around, bro. I'm not, what do I look like? Somebody saying, hey, you gotta pay me to come out here. That's crazy. I gotta pay you to come out here. I'd rather pay somebody to, pay you to come out nowhere. That's crazy, but it happens, bro. They, in that paperwork, everybody knows Shaq and all that he didn't had going on, but you know, they got a lot of people named in that paperwork that was getting extorted.
Exactly. And I'm glad you said that, because that was my next point. I was going to talk about this whole Adrian Broner situation. Now, it says AB in the paperwork, but everybody's saying it is Adrian Broner because it names a professional boxer who is actually cheating NBA players out of their money in dice using fixed dice. And it was on Big U's part to go back and get the money from him, man. So what did you think about that part?
Yeah, that's crazy. When I first heard about it, I didn't know that he did the dice game. But if he did that dice game, he deserved everything that they was gonna do to him, for real, bro. Because you don't come in no dice game with no trick dice and take people money. That's crazy. Because if we find that out and you done took 1.5 from 4 of us, you might not make it up out of the situation.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that. I was like, well, this is a dangerous situation. And one of the topics we talk about later, it's going to involve somebody who's heavily into gambling. And I just shooting dice, all that. It just seems like a wild situation as far as like, how in the world do you want to stay safe and still do this?
Well, I mean, you taking a chance. It depends, bro. But them is NBA players. It's not like he punked them or something. He came in with some trick dice. He did some weird but dice games are tricky, bro. Rest in peace to Takeoff. I mean, he lost his life at one, but he ain't the only person. Dice games get tricky, bro, but you just gotta, so you can't just be anybody at a dice game, though. You gotta be somebody, because, so.
Yeah, and you always learn coming up. You never want to be the new guy to a dice game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I ain't shot dice in years, to be honest with you. Like, a long time.
Last time I threw some dice was in a casino. You know what I mean? I ain't doing nothing but that.
I ain't shot dice on like a curb. Man, it's been about 10, 15 years. 15 years, maybe, to be honest. It's been a while.
That's wild, man. Now, okay, since we're on the dice and the gambling topic, I want to segue to something totally different, man. And it's kind of away from what's going on the West Coast there. Just this week, man, they laid to rest Get Money Lil Ronnie, man. Rapper out of Texas. He was known as the best gambler in Texas. Real dice player. Was real big about that. Was a rapper in his own right as well, too. But he ended up losing his life with his daughter at a car wash. The aftermath was crazy. It was a lot of back and forth. Charleston White made some comments that made everybody mad. What do you think about that whole situation?
It was crazy. I don't really know what to think about it. It's crazy though, bro. He lost his life and his daughter at the same time. I mean, I don't know what he was doing in the streets. I never heard about him, honestly, until that situation happened. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe I didn't see clips of him. I don't even know. I'm saying like on Say Cheese or something, but I didn't even know who he was, to be honest. But I know who they said he was cool with. That dude, Hood Fame Yayo or whatever. Oh, Yayo. Yeah. So, I mean, you guilty by association, bro. And, I don't know. I seen, I don't know if it's real or not, but they have put on an Instagram story posted something. He better not, come to that that car wash or whatever no more. And, he went up there with his baby, bro. So I'm like, well, if you know you into some shit, why would you go with your child up there? But the people who did it is crazy, bro. I mean, I seen where they said one of the dudes had already been convicted of shooting a 2-year-old or something like that.
One of the dudes was all bad.
Yeah, one of them was like
I'm talking about all bad. Like, I don't want to say on the for a second. You said what?
Like a.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best way to say it, man. He was all bad.
Yeah. I seen it. I'm like, but how was they still getting employed? And then people had to know what they done went to jail for.
I don't know. I think they were they were robbing and they were just in the streets like that, you know?
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about the people that sent them, or the people that they were still dealing with. Like,
yeah,
I understand.
They probably didn't know.
Maybe the dude who shot the 2-year-old, maybe they're like, it was an accident or whatever. He didn't try to do it, but it is what it is. 'Cause that's how people really feel. But the other one who got them weird charges, that bad paperwork, that's crazy. Like, y'all still hanging with this dude?
Yeah, in fact. Yeah, I didn't get that either. You know what I mean? And one of them, their girlfriend was a driver, I guess, or at least, or it was her car. I want to be right. So the girlfriend, it was one of them. The girlfriend, it was her car, and she got a lot of backlash. Like people been on her head out in Texas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I've seen a video of her like in a car or something, like explaining some, or in a house maybe or something. I think I seen a clip of her saying some.
Man, they all bad, man. You know, anytime, you know, a kid gets killed like that in a situation like that, like, I want your opinion as you years ago. Like, if in a situation like that, you sees with his daughter, is it automatic that somebody gives somebody a pass?
Yeah, I'm not shooting nobody with with a kid or no kid around. I ain't doing that because I know if you do that, well, I don't want to shoot no kid, period. But even if you did that by accident, you're going to get caught, bro. There's no way you're not getting caught for that situation, bro. So you gotta be real, you had to be real careful, bro. You can't man, you gotta kind of make sure that ain't nobody in that car, especially if you know he got children. You feel me? Like if you know he got kids, you gotta make sure, bro. And you can't be just indirectly shooting that gun. But people don't be giving a they just be shooting, bro. They don't care. You know, we care about shooting kids, but other people don't care, bro. I mean, Draco, rest in peace, had a song where he said, I can't even trust my homies because they be shooting something like that on the song.
That's crazy. Yeah, man. I mean, to keep it real, man, there's no environment where a kid should ever have to fear for somebody shooting them.
Yeah, but the kids shouldn't be put in certain positions either. Like if I know it's funk and I know I'm somewhere where it's gonna get funky at it, and I know that they'll do it over here, like I know it ain't nothing for them to up it and just go. In this area where I'm at, I might not have my kid with me in their car. I would have baby on board, or I would make it known that a kid is in this vehicle. But I don't know. It was crazy. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Rest in peace to him and her, because that was wild. But like that be happening, bro.
Yeah, man. Sad situation. All right, man. Enough of those dark topic like that, man. I wanted to go something else, man. Now, I want to go back to the West Coast, you know, and ask you about this. So, Black Sam, Nipsey Hussle's brother, just opened a new location for the Marathon Burgers, right? And Marathon Burger had his grand opening, and a guy by the name of Rockstar, who's known on YouTube, showed up there and ended up getting escorted off the block, man. I mean, I'm talking about basically walked across the street, left there, and said he couldn't get service because of not sticking up for Nipsey Hussle around people on social media and YouTube. What did you think about that situation?
That's crazy. I don't know who the individual is, but man, the dude, Roadstar is like a clown regardless, because we're gonna be honest. If he claimed that he went to high school with Nipsey and he been messing with him and he been messing with Black Sam ever since, basically, then why would you even want to interline yourself with Wack100 for anything, for any reason? Like, why would you have to use him for content if you know he even mentioned Nipsey at all? And you supposed to be one of his like high school friends, bro. You supposed to then be. It's pictures of them together. So I mean, like he know him, but why would you even deal with Wack100? That don't make no sense. And then, bro, like I seen a video where he said that he haven't even talked to Black Sam in like a few months after Black Sam sat him down at lunch and talked to him, basically trying to let him know to stop messing with Wack. But I guess he didn't get the message right. Still dealt with Wack, and then he didn't receive no calls back. And he went to that Marathon Burger dressed in all marathon gear, trying to fit in and got his ass stopped at the door. I wonder this, like, did they let him on purpose, like, wait in that long ass line for like an hour and a half or however long it took to get to that door just to tell him? Because they could have been came out and told him. I'm pretty sure maybe they seen him or somebody seen him say, hey, that's Rockstar, that's Roadstar out there. That's Roadstar out there. And but yeah, they probably made his ass wait in the line for nothing and then told him no. But I don't know, Black Sam just gotta be careful, bro, because that type of energy, that's y'all cool, I guess, but that type of energy, so that makes somebody double back or something if they don't do nothing right there.
I thought about that because I was like, man, it just brought back the memories of when Nipsey lost his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was almost a similar scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But shit, that I don't know, bro. I don't know. Then the dude Roadstar went on, like, did a interview and said he wanted to get down with Black Sam. Then he took the interview back and said he issued an apology and some type of long ass letter and that somebody wrote for him and put it on Instagram. But I don't think Black Sam gonna with him like that, bro. But he might. That's why people saying why he didn't attack him, like, or fight him right there. Like, if he claimed he with Nipsey and Black Sam, he wouldn't. Why would he fight him right there, bro? Like, so I'm not saying he like was scared or nothing, because he didn't run, or he wasn't like backing down, or like, like, he didn't really run like that. But what he was gonna do? Fight his homie that's dead brother at his opening of his restaurant? And then that could have been a play, because I seen a little part of the video where I swear to God, it looked like Sam passed him some after he got to the other side of the street, like with his hand, like he passed him some. This before I knew their relationship was like they knew each other. I just thought maybe he went to school with Nipsey at Hamilton a long time ago, but I guess he was around him. But on that video, it looked like he passed him some. So I'm like, this shit could have been a play for the grand opening too, of the marathon.
You think it could have been something to get some to get some views or something like that?
Well, yeah, to bring some traction. Yeah.
Good point. Because a lot of people were reporting.
Like if you find the video, you got to put the video on here. But that's what it looked like. Looked like he passed or something.
Now, since then, there's been a lot of traffic out here at that Marathon Burger, man. Now, would you yourself go to Marathon Burger? I don't know. Would you ever be able to go there?
Will I ever be able to go there? I could go there if I want to, but nah, I don't want to go. Well, maybe in the future, not right now.
Yeah, I mean, you're a public figure, man, and it's well known your past, and you know what I'm saying.
That don't matter. That's on Melrose, bro. That ain't nobody. That ain't nobody hooding them.
Yeah, that's true. It's the Melrose location, so you're like, there's no issue or anything like that.
Well, I mean, it could be issue, but it's like that ain't nobody. Nobody stronghold. That ain't nobody hood. Nobody like jurisdiction in them.
Yeah. So, man, when it comes to situations like that, where these internet relationships start to break up true friendships and relationships in real life. And, a name that always comes and gets entangled in a lot of these things is Wack100. So what do you think about Wack100's involvement in pretty much everything West Coast that's been viral lately?
So I don't know. I mean, I just know he be talking, like he be saying some brother I never see on the internet, like that video with Aaron the plumber where he told him I'll put 1,500 on your mama or something.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's some scary to say. Like, I don't know why would he say that on the internet.
What's your opinion on Aaron the plumber? What do you think about dude?
I mean, he cool. I mean, I don't really know too much about him, but I seen him when he had got into it at Ray J house or whatever. Other than that, I seen like little clips of his interview or whatever. I guess he seemed cool or whatever. Been in the pen. Now he getting viral on the internet.
Now, what do you think about the dude spitting on him after he turned his back?
That was crazy. But that was a crazy situation because that was in Georgia, period. So, it could go either way. Like, what's his name? Aaron the plumber could have got gunned down in there if he would have did the wrong thing. And they wouldn't even face no charges really for a shit. So
Yeah, like little Tim. Little Tim was out like a week later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't even think he got they've been dropped though. Charges
Yeah.
for us.
I was saying that to say that in most southern states, you know, the gun laws are very loose. You know what I mean?
Well, they just got and they got more they got more self-defense laws out there. We really don't out here. It was Bush.
Yeah, there was a law on the books that got shot down where they wanted y'all in California, if somebody broke into your house, they had to retreat and you had to retreat before you shot them.
They was already doing that at one point. At one point they was like years ago. They was already doing that. I think it got stopped for a minute and they was trying to bring it back, but they had already had that. That's crazy. You want somebody to break in my house and then I got to try to run out the back of my house while they breaking in the house instead of putting his ass on the floor. That's crazy. That's why people leave in California or they got to change the laws because that's Bush. So what about your kids? You got to get your kids, your dog, like, why somebody breaking in the door, you got to do all of that before you can shoot them. That's crazy. What if they got guns?
In Texas, you gotta watch who yard you walk on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like everybody's real respectful. You would think it would make people meaner and, you know, on edge, but it doesn't, man. Because you just kind of know not to mess with anybody because it could go there with anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And speaking of Texas, I'm glad I threw that out there for some reason, man. But I wanted to ask you about this as well. This week was a week of big news. And one of the biggest stories to drop was the fact that they feel like they have the case for Mo3's murder solved. Yellow Beezy, one of the superstar rappers out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, was arrested this week and charged with murder for hire, capital murder for hire, in the shooting death of Mo3. They're saying that Yellow Beezy put the play in motion, put the money on his head, and paid the shooter, Keywan White, to shoot Mo3 that day on the highway.
See what I mean? But that should be happening though, low key. That be happening. Like you got to get rid of your opponent. That's all it come down to, really. It'd be like it's competition. And sometimes competition gets serious. That's really what it was.
What do you think about him? Go ahead.
No, I said that's just really what it be, bro. I don't know if Yellow Beezy really did that or not, but that they saying happened, that really happens a lot, really quite often.
That's because why in the world, like, Yellow Beezy's falling from grace in this situation would have to be studied, because Yellow Beezy at the time was really, really doing his thing out here as a rapper when Mo3 got shot and killed. It wasn't until after Mo3 got shot and killed that the Dallas scene started to die down. And now it's 5 years later, he's been picked up for this, man. Do you think this probably caught him by surprise?
No, not if he actually did it. Like if he get convicted, like if he did it, no. Really never go away once you, like a case that they talking about, you got to take a long time. You might get life for it. It ain't going away in your head. 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, that's stuck in your head. Cause you know, like at any point in time, like your door could get kicked in. Just imagine that. That's like horrible.
Yeah, that would suck, man. To live like that would suck. Like be worried about somebody kicking in your door to arrest you and take you to prison.
Yeah, that should be. A lot of people be like that though. It'd be like that for a lot of people.
Man, for most people, it's not, man. Most people just live normal, boring lives. But when you play, do you think playing in the streets for real and being a street rapper is a thing that's going to be of the past, or is that dying?
No, hell no. No, hell no. They ain't never gonna die. They ain't never gonna die. They ain't gonna do podcasts like that. They just gonna do streams with Kai Cenat like that. Like they're just gonna do them streams and not really talk about they could coordinate what they want to talk about, or they ain't gonna do the stream and that. So it just probably ain't gonna be a lot of podcasts like that. Maybe to a certain degree.
That's wild, man. Now, when it comes to like rappers getting locked up and things like that, we can't stop this interview or finish without talking about this one topic. 4Extra. Now, 4Extra was one of the biggest viral sensations on social media for a while. He was all over TikTok going viral for his quotables, all over Instagram for his quotables about how much he loves to run them fades in the county. Now, when 4Extra first burst on the scene, what did you think?
I mean, when he first burst on the scene, it was because he told a story about him. He said he whooped on Job 5 in the county jail, but, you know, look, later on, he was like, we found out that he was like older than Jap or whatever. And I don't even know if he whooped on Jap like that, but he was older though. He was like 26 and Jap was probably like 18 or like that. But he made it seem like it had just happened or something. So that was his like grace to fame on the internet through Jap 5. But he from 40s though, so I don't know. That ain't my homie.
I get it. And I understand Jap 5 is one of your homies, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a weird situation with the question. But like when he started blowing up, like what did you think as far as like all the different fight stories in the county? Did it bring back memories?
No, hell no, not for me. I ain't never been in the county jail with him. Oh, I ain't never been locked up with him. But him telling them stories, I mean, you know, I listen to some of that, but if he ain't naming nobody like that, I don't really want to hear it. Like, we need names. We need names. Like, nobody don't want to just hear like, oh, I just ran 10 fades, but not saying who they was with.
All right, Milk. So when it comes to 4Extra and him going viral with all those fight stories and things like that, like, did you, like, when I say did it bring back memories, is it really like that in the county? Like, is it that crazy? Because a lot of people have called cap on a lot of things that he said.
No, hell no. No, the county jail like that. The county jail is horrible.
Now, you've told a famous story, and I think the first time we interviewed, you know, a long, long time ago, you talked about your fade in the county, and it was because, your situation in the county, it was a racial thing, you said, right?
Yeah.
So how often would you, like you being, well, back in those days, being from a black group or a black gang, I'll say, if that's okay, and then being white, would you still be under the same rules of running fades with all the black other gangsters?
Of course.
But your biggest situation in that is the situation you ran into is, you know, running into some white guys, right?
Yeah, that wasn't really, that was a situation, but that wasn't like the biggest. The biggest was just you have to be like running fades whenever it's an enemy or whenever it's like that around. That ain't gonna happen too many times. That race, it ain't gonna happen too many times.
Yeah, because based on what I've learned from talking to people is there's not a lot of woods in LA County anyway, right?
No, not really. Not really. It was a few of them when they did that, but not like overall, no.
That's crazy, man. So when it comes to with 4Extra, there was some news that he was having some issues, right? So he got locked back up, and you know, free 4Extra, man. I really like that dude. Is hilarious. He's very energetic. I like dude, man. I really do. And he dropped I guess he said something on No Jumper, Adam No Jumper's phone or something like that, or you put a message out there, and something got misconstrued between him and X4, one of his homeboys. Now, X4 and him were allegedly going back and forth. Did you see any of that?
I just seen where he trademarked off the back.
Yeah, that was the thing. He did an interview about that where he trademarked off the back, and allegedly Poor Extra's cousin, Spody Face, said that he had to get off the set or come to the set to get put off or something like that. And everybody laughed because I guess he's from there. So I don't know. Do you think they're just playing with social media or do you think it's a real situation?
I think it's a real situation, to be honest. I think it's a real situation, but it's crazy it's playing out on social media. But can they put him off though for that? I don't think so. Can I get him put off? And will it be tension between them? Maybe. But is they gonna be able to put him off? No.
All right, Milk 74, man. And I gotta get this right, man. For the people out there, do you refer to yourself just as Milk 74, or just Milk TV?
Milk, it's Milk TV. That's what it's been for like 4 years.
Yep. And I just wanted to clear that up because, when it comes to, I want to make sure I'm addressing you properly too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, yeah, I don't want to be with the Alphabet Boy, so.
You said what?
I don't want to be with the Alphabet Boy, so I'm just Milk.
Yeah, gotcha. Nah, gotcha. Now, when it comes to social media, there's a lot of characters on the West Coast that have been popping. One I already named. 4 Extra, huge, skyrocketed, locked up. Crip Mac, huge, skyrocketed, got locked up. Now we got a situation where there's different people who are getting locked up in these RICO indictments and things like that. Now, do you think this is bad juju or anything for West Coast podcasters or West Coast personalities on social media, man? What do you think?
No, I just think that they be the ones that be getting viral still be outside. They still be doing certain, that they shouldn't be doing no more, but they still be doing, and they already done made it kind of on social media a little bit, but a lot of them be stupid going to jail back and forth for no reason. I'm not going to jail back and forth like that.
Okay, yeah, nah, I agree, man. And that's one thing, man, with 4 Extra, man. I knew if he didn't get this little roadblock that he had right now, it would be going crazy for him right now. But with Crip Mac, it was the same thing, man. And what I'm saying is, you've been able to stay out of all that. How is that possible? Because cats like you, Nina Boy, even Snoopy Badass, you guys have kind of not been locked up ever since you became personalities on YouTube.
I mean, I don't know about the other people you mentioned for real. Like, I don't know nothing about them to tell you if they have or not. But me, I haven't at all. You just got to say you ain't going to jail and don't do nothing to go to jail. It's not hard like that. It just depends, like, what you doing out here, like how you still living. I'm blessed not to be, I don't do nothing criminal, so I don't got to worry about going to jail. Like, I don't do illegal.
That's the key. That's the key right there, brother.
So, just don't do illegal. I don't have to worry about that. Like the indictments, they be like, if they about to indict everybody, I don't got to worry about that because y'all can indict whoever y'all want. I won't be a part of it because you haven't nothing on me to indict me on. So, but I don't know, but wow.
It's like the rap game. It's like the podcast game is almost mirroring the rap game. Like a bunch of rappers got locked up, right? In the last 3-4 years, right? RICO cases, all sorts of stuff. And it's because of what they rapped about.
Yeah. The Mexican Crip from, what is it? Stockton? What's his name? The one that beef with EBK, J-Ball.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name. He did a No Jumper interview. That was why.
Danzum or up, something like that. But they say he got booked because of some interviews he did. But they got him for some 6 years ago.
Yeah, and EBK J-Bo, he got locked up again only 2 or 3 weeks after getting out.
I think he out again right now. I think he got bail or something. I think I just seen the post earlier or something. Same mistaken.
What do you think about Stockton and their politics and how wild that's going?
I mean, I don't really know because I don't be in I ain't never went to I don't think I never even been in Stockton, like just stopping Stockton. I don't know, bro, but it's the same as everywhere else. But that's you gotta check in, come back, see, not check in to get like extorted or for nobody, but you need to figure out a way if you gonna go out there to know they politics. So, but I would never just be going to Stockton though, so I don't have to worry about that. But I don't know. It's crazy, really.
Nah, that's true. And there's a lot going on out here, man, to be real with you. But man, I just love getting your feedback and some of your insight on a lot of the things that have been popping off lately, man. But it wouldn't be right, Milk, that I don't give you an opportunity, to shout out everything that you got going, man. Now, I don't know if you're into acting, you got any movies coming out, you working on some music or whatnot, but if you have anything in the future that you'd love to shout out, Milk, the floor is yours.
I don't really got nothing to shout out, bro. I'm doing it, but I don't really talk about it, bro. Cause, people, yeah, I don't really talk about it, but I got a lot of the, little different coming out and shit. I've been working, doing different, together, but I got a lot coming with the channel that I'm still working on that. Just still, uploading on there and shit. But, I was sick. I had got sick a little bit the other day. Like a week and a half.
Yeah, it seemed like you fell back out. And I hate to cut your shout out off, but how come you keep falling back and in? You're one of the most consistent on YouTube, but it seems like you do have these spells where you fall back and then you fall in.
No, I had got sick. I'm back on it though, but I got sick low key. Like I had to go to the hospital. I haven't been to the hospital in years. I had to go to the hospital. I was kind of sick or something was wrong with me, but they did tests, ran MRIs and shit. I was good. I just had some mic. I think from drinking too much soda.
Okay.
Well, like my lower side was hurting. Like I thought I had gas, but it didn't go away. So I was like, bro, I had to go to the hospital because I ain't been to the hospital in like 12, 13, 14 years, to be honest. A while. But I went though, because I hurting. Like it was horrible. Horrible.
But you're all good now?
Yeah, I'm good. But, nothing, because I stopped, it's crazy because I stopped drinking sodas like probably like almost a month ago. I had said I'm about to stop drinking sodas because I was too much, like just soda.
Man, yeah, and that's one of the things, man. You're only supposed to drink like one of those a day, and they don't tell you, you know what I mean?
I don't want to drink at all, but yeah, no, I'm good. I just went to the hospital, but I went to two because the first one I really didn't. They said they test. I just didn't like it was just like a weird hospital. I didn't like it, so I went to another one just to the next day I went to another one just to make sure earlier.
Okay, but everything's good with you, huh?
Yeah.
Ah, that's good, man. Hey, nothing bad. Health is wealth. That's to be real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, Milk, I appreciate it, man. Everybody go check out Milk and Milk TV, man. Another blazing interview. Great time, man. It was a cool, different environment. I can't wait to see you more in the future. And everybody check out your channel. And we out of here. Peace.